And we're here for the finals. My opponent kept his 7, and I will as well. We only need one land for our hand to be awesome, and there it is. So we can Putrefy and or Slum Reaper as first play. Alright, Assault Griffin if we have nothing else to do. Looks like he's on some kind of bug list. He has no turn 3 play, which is interesting. I could play the Syndic now, but I'd rather just have the guaranteed 4 mana next turn since I have some 4 drops in my hand. Oh, Shamble Shark, okay. So he's possibly Simic splashing black. Metropolis Sprite, alright. Mono Golgari, seems good. So I could Slum Reaper, or I could play Syndic and Devour Flesh. I think I'm just going to play the Shambler, so that if he doesn't have another way to evolve his Shamble Shark, he can't attack. But looks like he might. Yeah, he does. That's too bad. So I think I just have to take it here. So now I think I go Slum Reaper so that I can guaranteed kill his Shamble Shark if he attacks next turn. And I have a good target to sack right now. See what he's got. Whoa! That thing is actually terrifying in a Simic deck. We can't even block the Shamble Shark now. Wow, that was an utter blowout. We're at 5 already. Alright, so we might have to Putrefy his Menace. But then that doesn't even solve our Shamble Shark problem. Maybe we Putrefy the Shamble Shark and we can block the Corpse Jack. And then next turn we'll have the Steeple Rock to deal with the Metropolis Sprite. So yeah, I'll play the Syndic now, so I have the option to either Devour Flesh plus Extort or Putrefy one of his guys. More than likely we're going to Putrefy something. Dead Reveler, oh geez, Unleash 2. Forgot about that one. So he has a 4-5 even after all this. Man, this is not fun. So we can kill that thing and then Putrefy Shamble Shark, but then we're still very far behind here. We're left with a Syndic against his Flyer and his massive guy. I mean, we can Devour Flesh him, but he's going to get rid of his Sprite. Alright, well there's a Steeple Rock, so that we can at the very least keep his Sprite back, but then we're going to have to chump his Reveler. Aw man, it's not looking good for Team Austin. At least we get to Extort so that his Dead Reveler isn't lethal. So yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't have removal, because if he does, we're screwed either way. Or a way to pump his guy. So we're gonna go to 1 here. Yep. Still has 5 cards in hand. Oh man, he's just got the nuts. Not surprised he's in the finals. So I could play two creatures, but I can't Extort either one. I think I just play the Griffin and then hold up Devour Flesh, which I don't think even saves me. I'll have to chump something. No need to even attack. We're gonna have to hold back all our blockers here. Like, we could Devour Flesh and then chump his Reveler still, or double block it, which doesn't seem like the worst. Like, he'll sack his Sprite. But then we have to chump his Beetleform Mage too, so we're going to lose 2 guys either way, or possibly all of them. And he's going to be left with a massive guy, so we're not in very good shape. at all. I'll just Devour Flush him now, in case he has another Shamble Shark or something. Not surprisingly, got rid of that guy. So the plan, I think, is to double block his Reveler and, or maybe his Beetleform Mage. Ugh. Yeah, I'll double block the Flyer because that one's harder to deal with. Left with nothing. Ah, and he has the follow-up guy. Man, he has an insane deck from what I've seen so far. So we need another creature right away, and we didn't get it. I mean, I can sack my Cluestone, hope to get a 2-mana guy, and that's not a 2-mana guy. Alright, so, against his ridiculous deck, bring in Selesnya Charm for sure, because he had like a 6/5 Shamble Shark at one point. So I need to take out a non-creature spell, probably the Shadow Slice. I don't know, I like Shadow Slice as a finisher. Yeah, I don't know. He had so many guys that I'd have to fight through. I don't think Shadow Slice is going to be necessary. We're going to be on defense for most of the early game, and we're going to have to get incremental value, not just a massive swing at the end. This hand is fine on the play. As long as he doesn't have another ridiculous start, at least we have a blocker for his early Shamble Sharks. Oh, jeez. Turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor. Don't know if I can beat that. Oh, Aerial Maneuver, so we can beat it on turn 5. He's probably going to just evolve it every turn, though. Oh, thank goodness he didn't have the Shamble Shark. And we drew a play. So if we wanted to, we could Aerial Maneuver next turn, or Fatal Fumes as Cloudfin Raptor. What's he got? Crisis, okay. So I do need to be mindful that if he is able to evolve his Raptor next turn, I'll have lost my window to use Fatal Fumes on it. So I think I actually need to use my Fatal Fumes now, before the Raptor gets any bigger. And then next turn I'll be able to drop my First Strike Flyer and deal with his other guy. And then just hope he doesn't have the Corpse Jack Menace or something else I can't deal with. But I think we're in okay shape right now. Yeah, I'll just wait until he tries to evolve it or something. Oof, Denizen's a beating too. Wow, he had a really good Gate Crash pack. Denizen is actually one of the last things we wanted to see, because we've kind of stabilized the board, but now he's got just you know, like something that will get him incremental value every time he plays a creature, even though we dealt with his evolve. And I have to assume his hand's loaded with green creatures. Just because why wouldn't he? He has this the Nut Simic deck. Splashing Corpse Jack Menace. Alright, there's a green creature. Probably putting the counter on the Crocodile. Or, oh, on itself, okay. So that tells me he has another green creature, so he can push that through the Corpse Blockade next turn. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't feel too bad losing to his deck, because it's so good. Yeah, there's a Trestle Troll. I can play that and hold up Aerial Maneuver, I guess. Next turn I can, I guess, start regenerating it, even though I do want to play my Jailbreaker. So we'll be able to deal with one of his guys at least. Guarantee you will have a green creature before combat, because why wouldn't he? Or just a Shamble Shark in combat. Yep. This guy has a very good deck. But I think we can still win this if we play our cards right. He's only got 2 cards now. will be more or less stabilized. So I'll block one of his guys. And I actually want to get rid of his lifelinker rather than his flyer, because we do have reach on the board and an assault griffin. He's going to give lifelink. I'll just go ahead and aerial maneuver this guy. Like, I'd rather he didn't start pumping counters onto his lifelinker, because that would be, he'd get so far ahead. He's only got one card in hand, so I think we're in good shape now. Skeleton's pretty sweet, actually. It's another interaction with the corpse blockade. Give it death touch every turn, but I'm still going to play the griffin and try to trade with his Krasis. Ugh. The beats never stop coming. Presumably putting the counter on, yeah, that rollback rhino. Man, it doesn't stop. At least he can't attack this turn. Oh, he's going to attack with his beetle? No, that doesn't seem right. I can just double block with my walls. So now I'll play my skeleton, because I am planning on using the death touch on corpse blockade this turn, and I don't want to sack any of my other guys. Yeah, the one thing I'm not too keen on with my deck is we didn't have a great RTR pack. Our only good man, his deck. Where's he gonna put the counter? Anyway, we only have like 2 scavenge guys plus the rot farm skeleton, so our synergies aren't ideal. Like, we have a very solid Orzhov deck that happens to be playing some graveyard interactions, so like I'm happy with our deck. But if our deck was more finely tuned, quote unquote, even though you can't really finely tune a draft deck, we could make better use of our corpse blockade and whatnot. Didn't see any launch parties or anything, but that would have been pretty sweet too. See where he puts the counter. Yeah, so he's going to be able to punch through for a bunch. So how do we want to do this? Oh, he's getting in there. Alright, so we're going to give our corpse blockade death touch for sure. Our skeleton can't block, unfortunately, which I think is intentional for this exact situation. Yeah, and we're going to kill his denizen, I believe. Actually, I might want to kill his rhino instead, because our outs right now include some number of removal spells, which we can't use on the hexproof. Like, I need to draw Putrefy, I think, to survive next turn. And then worst comes to worst, we can... Oh, actually, we're going to lose our blockade, so I was going to say we could return the skeleton, but it's not going to happen. So he's going to be left with 3 guys, and we'll be left with 2. We'll play another guy next turn. I think this is our best chance at surviving this. So here we can play a Syndic, or we could play a Jailbreaker as well. But his Beetle Form Mage is actually pretty close to lethal here. Yeah, our options are not good. We're gonna have to just block and regenerate from the Beetle Form and then chump the Denizen. Actually, I'd rather just kill the Denizen. We'll lose our Trestle Troll, but we need to draw a removal spell either way to survive. See what he has. His deck has never stumbled. The only time I've seen it be less than ideal is not having a turn 2 play after the Cloudfin Raptor, but like I don't think our opponent can complain about his deck. Good on him. I'm not griefing here. Like, I'm complimenting him on a good deck. We gave it our best. Just couldn't get there. Not saying this is over, but it's pretty close to over. We'll have a guy back to block his Beetle, but if we don't draw a removal spell for his Beetle Form Mage, we're just dead. And if he plays another creature, we're assuredly dead. Yep. So we have to block there, we're dead. I'm going to double block here rather than jump it, because I'd rather him have just a Drudge Beetle. So we'll be left with the Syndic, assumedly. Yeah. Need to draw removal. Yeah, that's removal, but it doesn't quite get there, because he's just going to sack his Drudge Beetle and laugh at me. But I'll make him do it anyway. We can extort, but then we only go to 2 and we're still dead. We could reanimate our Rot Form Skeleton, which can't block. Yep, just nothing we could have done this game. There was some consideration. There was one point where I gave my Trestle Troll first strike. I could have then, after first strike damage, sacked it to my Corpse Blockade to give it Death Touch. But then we'd be down 2 creatures. Not sure what we could have done, but might have been something, but I'm just going to chalk it up to my opponent having an excellent deck. And but I was happy with our deck. Second place, nothing to complain about. So thanks for watching.